Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, wherever it is in your country. Um, Hope everybody having a beautiful day. Enjoying a vacation, good living life, birthday, or anything. Y'all come on in as you come in, hit the like button. But I'm going to get started because I didn't tell y'all I was going to come on, okay? When you come in, just pick up, okay? Uh, this content is about everybody want to take a vacation, right? Everybody want a vacation. And some, just if you want to go, and ain't nothing wrong with going on a vacation, okay? But you can't leave your babies in the house, and kids in the house without having an adult to be there with them, while you take a vacation, okay? So this video, what happened in this video right here is that the mother took a 10 days vacation, y'all, to Puerto Rico. She took a 10-day vacation to Puerto Rico without a babysitter. She left her baby in the house like that, okay? But something allegedly happened to the baby. So what we're gonna do is turn over to um shout out to Lau and Cran. This is for educational, educating, and gosh, and teaching purposes.
Committed the ultimate act of betrayal, leaving your baby terrified, alone, unprotected, to suffer what I heard was the most gruesome death imaginable.
An Ohio mother will spend the rest of her life in prison for leaving her toddler home alone for more than a week, where she starved to death while her mom.
She out there with a man. While she on vacation, okay? I want to take a look at this. I just want to give y'all time to come on in here and hit that like button. Listen up. Okay, y'all, I had to take a moment there. Uh, Here we go. I had to take a moment there. I got a little feeling right there when it came down to this baby like this. Okay, here we go.
Alone, unprotected, to suffer what I heard was the most gruesome death imaginable.
An Ohio mother will spend the rest of her life in prison for leaving her toddler home alone for more than a week, where she starved to death while her mom jetted off on vacation. Prosecutors say 32-year-old Crystal Candelario left her 16-month-old daughter Jalen alone and unattended at her home beginning on June 6th of 2023. Candelario didn't return home until 10 days later on the 16th. And upon returning home, she made the tragic discovery. Her daughter was found unresponsive in what investigators described as a filthy playpen. She had been extremely dehydrated, and the young toddler was pronounced dead at the scene. According to the medical examiner, Jalen's body was extremely emaciated. She weighed less than 14 pounds at the time of her death. Investigators say Candelario left her daughter alone while she vacationed in Detroit and Puerto Rico. She was arrested and booked a day after returning home and discovering her daughter's body. In February of 2024, Candelario pleaded guilty to charges including aggravated murder and endangering children. During Candelario's sentencing, the prosecution said investigators combed through more than 600 hours of ring camera footage, which actually showed Candelario left her daughter alone for 2 days before she jetted off on her vacation.
If in fact we would have gone to trial, the evidence was going to show that Crystal Candelaria left the state of Ohio on 6/4/2023. She leaves because there is a receipt that's found in her car that she is in Taylor, Michigan. Unbeknownst to Miss Candelario, her neighbors had Ring doorbell, and the Cleveland Police Department Homicide Unit has gone through 648 hours and videos of the Ring doorbell, which you're going to see in this presentation. With regards to Ms. Candelaria, she returns to Cuyahoga County on 6/6 at 7:41 a.m. So at this particular point, we have reason to believe that this child was left alone for 2 days. And she returns on 6/6/2023.
That means that she done been on vacation and everything and on.
Young toddler was pronounced dead at the scene. According to the medical examiner, Jalen's body was extremely emaciated. She weighed less than 14 pounds at the time of her death. And
these are items from her phone. Her actions indicate to us that she is in Puerto Rico having a good time with friends, and that there is not a care in the world about the 16-month-old that was left alone in the pack and play. These pictures show somebody who is showing some discretion and judgment because she's having a good time. Meanwhile, this child is in a pack and play.
the prosecutor said during Candelario's vacation, Ring camera video captured the sounds of crying from her toddler while she was left unattended. When she returned on June 16th, prosecutors say upon discovering her daughter dead in the pack and play, Candelario redressed the young toddler before calling 911. Portions of that phone call were played before the judge in court, where Candelario can be heard screaming for help.
Mystery girl, you didn't have to delete the message. It's just my mom not here and she couldn't tell you what happened. A young lady left her baby in the I put a tide up there. She left her toddler alone for 10 days and went on a vacation. And that's not the first time she ever left her toddler there, okay? So when y'all come in, just try to go on to listen a little bit what's gone already played, okay? She's guilty. That's why she's screaming.
The state says despite Candelario's emotional phone call to 911, the next day she went back to Detroit to visit one of the men she had been dating. During her interview with investigators, Candelario claimed she had been home all week.
Y'all, this lady, look, y'all, it's okay to take, if you need help, ask for help. The young lady, 34-year-old, no right from wrong, Crystal, decided to take vacation. It's numerous of times, leaving her little baby in the house, y'all, without a sitter. And that's not the first time she did that. She think that since the baby can't talk and move around, walk, that she can do things like this. But I can hear some mental issue going on here. But she put them means before her baby. So let's continue.
And her daughter hadn't been eating well for the past few days. She said she woke up that morning and found Jalen unresponsive.
So that was just Monday and Tuesday of this week. She was throwing up.
Yes.
And then how was she Wednesday and Thursday?
She was with no food, just with a meal because she was confusing. Maybe it's because she didn't walk in 2 days, before.
Yeah.
That's not my camera.
So that's why that was scary because you say, oh my God, you hospital because she doesn't need anything, and she was losing some.
It's amazing how she's sitting right there, lying on her baby. Sheesh. If a man that important to you, to leave your baby alone and then sit in that chair and lie. That's why when you playing kids, you ladies, y'all the one got to deal with them. So don't just. That's another content.
Her weight, I lose, her weight. But right now, in this morning when I wake up, she was asleep. She's sleeping.
It's not my camera
12
jumping. That's
hours.
yours.
Okay.
She sleep like at 9 p.m. to 9 or 10 a.m.
Okay.
12 hours. So
12
in this
hours.
morning I was sleeping too. I never wake up. She was up.
What happened? What was going on last night?
Last night she was crying a lot, and I see one
Oh, I wonder
moment
why that camera
when I
jumped.
was take a shower, me, and she was screaming like I don't know, probably she getting pain.
How could she sit there and just
What
lie?
time was that last night?
Maybe at 7 or 8 p.m.
Okay.
So she was screaming like probably with for pain or something like that. In this morning when I wake up, I took her in the morning for updating, wake up, and she wake up, and when I see her, I see she looks like a really, really dry, like ¿cómo se dice cuando una persona se chupa, o sea, kind of like, yeah.
Over the coat face with something?
So, yeah, me asusté.
Prosecutors say Jalen died a horrible death, prompting them to bring in the medical examiner, Dr. Elizabeth Mooney, to explain to the judge the terrible and horrendous conditions Jalen suffered.
Unfortunately, this is one of the most tragic and unfortunate cases I've had in my career thus far. So today I speak on behalf of her and her findings with the course of my examination. We received Jalen at the medical examiner's office from the scene of her residence, at which time she was clothed in non-soiled clothing, indicating her body had likely been dressed prior to first responders' arrival, as they had mentioned before. So at autopsy, I examined the body of a very emaciated female toddler. At this point, she weighed 13 pounds. Upon review of medical records, this indicated approximately a 7-pound weight loss since her previous doctor's visit less than 2 months prior to that. The eyes were sunken, and she had temporal wasting in her face. In addition to that, the skin showed markedly decreased turgor, meaning when I pinch the skin, it remains in that tented position.
Wow, man, no kind of fluid in them.
In addition, there was abundant fecal material present caked on the fingers, the fingernails, the hands, the feet, as well as the soles of the feet.
Come on, lady.
Pursue your passion for working with animals through Penn Foster's online veterinary.
The same material was found on her lips, which were very dry and flaking, as well as in her oral cavity, caked to her teeth.
Dr. Mooney said Jalen's body fed upon itself, trying to get nutrients. Her kidneys failed, and based on the decomposition and state of her body, she had likely died 2 or 3 days before her mom returned and discovered her body. Jalen's cause of death was ultimately ruled as starvation and extreme dehydration due to pediatric neglect. The state said none of Jalen's family called their office to ask about the case.
Okay, to educate a couple of you, a lot of y'all young ladies, if you need help and you feel like that you can't handle your situation anymore about your kids, just reach out to someone, the hospital, either the police, and and let them know that you need help. Don't just baby's so pretty. You know how many people want little babies? Wow.
Instead, they were more concerned about Candelario. So law enforcement became the voice for the young toddler. Sergeant Teresa Gomez became emotional as she explained Jalen's young life was cut too short for no apparent reason.
This tragedy should have never happened. I am Sergeant Gomez from the Homicide Unit. The entire Homicide Unit, Cleveland Homicide Initiative, and our partners from the FBI are here today in honor of baby Jaylee Candelario. When we were first notified of this horrific case, we were all heartbroken. But when we started digging deeper into the investigation, it was beyond horrific. It was revealed that the defendant, KRISTAL Candelario, left her own child alone for hours, which led to days, which led to weeks. This 16-month-old baby was left alone in a pack-and play to fend for herself for 11 days with no food, maybe milk, the clothing she had on, and the diaper she was wearing. This baby loved her mother, she needed her mother, and her mother betrayed her.
Later, when it came to the defense's turn to speak, Candelario's lawyer, Derek Smith, didn't condone her actions.
Everything that I'm about to get into here today, and my client agrees with me, is no justification for her actions.
No justification.
What the prosecution said, actions matter.
So what happened here? What happened?
Narcissistic, selfish, abhorrent, absolutely worst parenting imaginable. She pled aggravated murder. She pled child endangering. So everything we're about to tell you is mitigation.
The defense says Candelario was struggling with being a single mother of two.
Fast forward to 2023. It's just overwhelming. She even tried to harm her.
That's why you just can't just have these babies because you know you want to be with that man and think that man gonna be with you. So you can't be having them babies like that. Have them because you want them, not because that man want them. And that's the mistake that she made. Everything changes once you have them babies.
Herself to the 20 motion, ended up in Metro. In early February of 23, after spending
Trying to put it on her guy. The camera is.
Her mother went to check on her, asked her what was going on. Her whole side of her body was numb. Didn't know what was going on. They took her to Hillcrest Hospital.
Hey, good morning, Shelley.
And they were doing some evaluations for.
And she's smiling.
She was complaining about aches and weakness.
Y'all, I can't stand that light flashing, so what I'm gonna
They
do
put her
is.
on IV Depakote, which is an anti-seizure, also used to treat manic disorder. And at the end of the day, after evaluations, she was clean, nothing wrong with her brain. They gave her oral Depakote and Effexor, 2 antidepressants, and sent her home. She was not very clear on what those were, but she was taking them supposedly as directed. And then she returned to Hillcrest.
And she's smiling. She got mental
There was
health.
a note from the doctor saying that
Mental
she's
problem.
plenty of Effexor, but she's saying that she's out and she needs more, and she's coming back with the same problems. So they got her evaluated again, and they were saying that her anxiety and her stress was the trigger for these physical manifestations to what was happening to her.
Yeah, I'm not gonna keep it.
Sensation inside her body, the numbness. And they prescribed her more Depakote, more Effexor, and also Atarax to help her sleep because she wasn't sleeping. And this is in March of 2023. And, taking medications as prescribed. And then medications ran out. She wasn't feeling better, they weren't working, she stopped. Not supposed to do that with these drugs, Your Honor. These are very serious mental health drugs. And you need to be tapered off of these medications or there could be.
Okay, y'all. Now they trying. Okay, you do have to when the situation is, y'all. What they trying to say is the girl was taking medication. Okay, and the medication does make you feel a certain way and do certain things. And what she should have done was tell the doctor, when the doctor puts you on these medication for the first time, yeah, it's going to make you feel funny, but you tell that doctor, you don't like this feeling right here, and you refuse to take this medicine. Can you do something else? Give me something else, either reduce it or something. And she She didn't report that to her doctor. Only thing she wanted to do was go on her vacation, but left that baby in the house by itself. And she shouldn't have did that. There she go.
Some side effects. Not only the side effects, but the actual underlying conditions that she may have had or been suffering from are also going unmedicated at this time.
Smith said the photos of Candelario on the beach didn't show the entire story, adding she was hiding her depression from herself and her family. He said there was no justification for Candelario's action. She could have called authorities or done things.
But see, one thing about depression is you can be smiling and anxiety kicking in and you don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? We don't know what's going on with this one. We know it wasn't right because she left the baby in the house 10 days while she went to Puerto Rican. And it ain't the first time she left the baby in the house. That's no excuse.
When you're in that state, when you're off medication, mismanaging your thoughts, you're not thinking clearly.
That's an excuse.
Get out, and she was having fun. If she was okay, in her mind, Jaylene was okay. Well, of course, that's not the case. But I will point to when she did finally get home, and we heard that 911 call. She didn't want this to happen. You could hear that screaming, "Help me! My daughter's dying." Yes, because of your actions. Because of what your choices were. And you took responsibility for that. But that call, that one tiny breach from whatever was going on in her head, that reality that her daughter was dying, she was calling for help. She didn't want that.
Hi, Polly. My name is Carly.
You know, well, we're going to talk about the commercial. Oh, but look, y'all. If you want to, I don't know. I that's just an excuse. The girl don't been. That's just an excuse. Lock her up. Throw away the keys, and her only thing herself. Well, once you have them babies, that's it. Ain't about you no more. That's all it is about them babies. So whether you want to see it or not, and she probably thought she was gonna keep the baby daddy, and he dipped on her when she had the baby. That's what next. Y'all, you got to make y'all decision better, baby. I mean, then I could have kept the baby. So the baby's so beautiful.
His mother and father to speak before the judge, and despite the prosecution saying Jaylen's extended family followed up with the state about the case, Candelario's family, through an interpreter, said they were sorry for not seeing the signs their daughter was struggling on the inside, and they will never forget Jaylen.
No one ever imagined that this suffering would culminate in a tragedy.
Y hoy aquí quiero decirle a Jaylene que eres nuestro ángel, Jaylene.
I want to say here before Jaylene, our angel,
Tu recuerdo vive en nosotros.
that your memory lives within us.
Siempre te amaremos.
And y'all, she got beautiful family. The baby has a grandmother and grandfather. Only thing she had to do was say, "Mama, can you keep the baby? Because I want to go to Puerto Rican." What's wrong with that? Instead of leaving that baby in a house to let you go on the beach or go be with a man. I mean, you got beautiful grandparents. Ask. At least you can't say, "I asked my mom." She can't even say that. "Mom, I'm thinking I'm having a problem." Don't you? My kids talk to me, so y'all, I can understand why some kids don't talk to their parents. But they ain't no kid, they grown folks now. But and then if you having any issues or problem with yourself, mental health is serious. Talk to someone. She could have told her mom and her dad something right here.
Tus abuelos nunca te olvidarán.
Your grandparents will never forget you.
Perdóname, bebé.
Forgive me
Por vivir la oscuridad del conocimiento.
for being in the dark.
Candelario also addressed the court where she appeared visibly emotional. Through an interpreter, she said she was extremely hurt by everything that happened.
I'm not trying to justify my actions.
Pero nadie sabe cuánto yo estaba sufriendo.
But nobody knew how much I was suffering
Y por lo que estaba pasando.
and what I was going through.
What?
Todo
Now, she said the family knew, but that's your children. See, that's what we talked about the other day. These are your babies. These are your children. And when you have kids, they become your, you get stressed out with kids. I tell you all about kids when you're young and when you want them babies like that. Ain't no break, baby. Ain't no break. And then she talking about her mom. Then she want to blame it on the mom. She blame it on the baby. Blame it on yourself when you're going to blame something on yourself. Talking about the parents know what she was going through. We all go through something, but you need to tell them they need to go see a doctor. And I know they probably said that.
los días le pido perdón a Dios y a mi hija, Yailin.
Every day I ask forgiveness from God and from my daughter, Jaylene.
And then you want to talk to God.
Soy una persona creyente de Dios.
I'm a person who believes in God.
Y reconozco hoy
Lady, I'm a person who believes in God. You don't know whether or not you believe in God. You can't believe in God and left that baby for 10 days. I'm sorry, honey. Can't feel sorry for you.
que todos y todas, en muchas ocasiones, somos tentados por el enemigo.
And I recognize today that all of us are sometimes subject to the enemy.
Candelario said not a day goes by that she doesn't think of her daughter and says she prays to be reunited with her surviving daughter one day. However, the judge didn't his word, saying Jalen died without the...
No, baby. What was that? Okay, y'all, she had another baby. What happened to that baby while she was out of town? Well, who had that child? That daddy had that child? Where was that baby? You left that little Jalen in the house by herself. Jalen would have been an easy one to keep.
Protection of her own mother, who chose to have fun over parenting.
Thank you.
You committed the ultimate act of betrayal.
Get on the judge.
Leaving your baby terrified, alone, unprotected, to suffer what I heard was the most gruesome death imaginable. With no food, no water,
no milk,
no protection, and lying in her own feces. Ms. Candelario, you know
thank you,
the responsibility of parenthood. You have a child already. You raised another child.
Thank you.
And I've witnessed here before me your parents who showed you love.
Beautiful
and respect
parents.
And education. And they came here to help you, to advocate for you, more than what you've done for your own child. The evidence that I've witnessed here before this court shows that this time you simply chose not to be here because you wanted to have fun.
Fun. Want to have fun.
You decided you needed a vacation. And what followed was absolute depravity.
The judge said at any point Candelario could have called for help or had someone come over to watch Jalen, but she chose otherwise.
Instead, I see photos of you on a beach.
Okay, y'all. I'm gonna tell it like it is and keep it, y'all. Let me tell you something. What did you the summary this summarize this content is this young lady failed her daughter. And y'all wanna hear that. When you start having kids, and she got another beautiful daughter, another beautiful little girl, but she decided to come out of her mother phase and left that baby for 10 days. Not only just 10 days just to go to Puerto Rico, she left that baby more than one time. Thinking that the baby that she had, she probably didn't even want the baby. And want the baby daddy. Or either could have, whatever the situation was, she didn't have to bring the baby home. She could have gave the baby up for adoption. A lot of people love kids. And then for you to get on, and then 10 days, nobody in the house with the baby. No milk, no water, no food. Not even change your pamper. Y'all know how babies are. If you need help, ask for it. Go to the hospital, okay? Y'all, for those who listening, we got to stop making unconcerned mistakes. Go get some help. You can't blame it on your medication. You was taking medication. Oh, but you went to Puerto Rico. I'm gonna speak for this baby. I don't care what nobody say. She left that toddler alone for 10 days to go to Puerto Rico. And ain't nothing cute about that. Now the precious little baby gone. But because of her senseless, selfish behavior. And she has the beautiful grandparent. Look at the grandparent. The grandmama missed, the grandmama and the granddaddy missed their baby. That's the grandparents. They missed the little baby. And she's still sitting there smiling. Like, I miss my baby. Beautiful parent. Now the parents crying. Grandmama, beautiful grandparent. Beautiful grandparents. Would have kept the little Jalen. Jalen. I can't remember the name. Deal with a lot of names, but you know, a young lady, she going through her heart, and right now, what's she doing? She about to have a baby for a couple. And I'm gonna one day invite her over. You see what people do for other people who want kids. You got to want kids. Your life changes when you have a baby, y'all. When you have children, your life changes. You can't be all on YouTube all every day and not even seeing about the baby. Don't make no sense, man. The grandparents got to go through. Now I feel sorry for the grandparents because they so beautiful. Just want to come in and bring this content to y'all. When you don't feel right and you need help, go to the doctor. Go to the doctor. I don't care if you have some money or not. Let them bill you. Go get help, okay? Go get help. And then she's saying she want the other little girl one day. No, you're not getting no kids. Girl, you think you're about to get some kids. Left that baby alone for 10 days. Not only 10 days. It been some more that time she left the baby. I can see it, the baby sleeping. She ran up to the street, up the stove, up the street, and came back home like that. But now, 10 days to go on a vacation to Puerto Rico, I would have kept little Jalen for her. If she had opened up her mouth and asked, her grandparents right here would have kept the baby. All right, y'all. If you're going through anything, just want to educate y'all, young girls. If you don't want to, if you right then, if you feel like you can't handle taking care of your baby, get some help. Try the grandparents first. Try somebody in the family, and then go get help. Go get the baby help. Go to the hospital. Okay. Love y'all. Peace, and I'll be back later on. Okay.